Hi. This is a bit unconventional of me, especially since I haven't really done too many videos on the YouTube channel. But I'm kind of at a weird point where, number one, obviously I sound the way that I sound. To you, a lot of you, maybe that's disturbing, maybe it's gross, or maybe, I don't know, you just call me a man or whatever. I generally don't care. This is the first thing. I generally don't feel bothered by it. Because again, I know who I am and that's all that matters. So that's usually how I live that by. But there is a point where even somebody who is so fine line just kind of just letting it happen and tank it, banning when they need to be banned, timing out if they need to be timed out, etc., etc., etc. And in general, I don't know, it just what I'm experiencing is weird because I haven't experienced this, and I've done Twitch for a long time before I transitioned, during my transitioning phase, and to the point where I am right now. And, like, to be honest with you, like, as it stands right now, Twitch at this moment has gotten pretty bad with, like, everything related to this. I've had more follower bots come at me. I've had more anti-trans people come at me faster and faster. Uh, when they get banned, they do ban evasions by putting cheeky names in their bots to antagonize me, etc. I'll be editing in like maybe something here and there or not. It depends. I don't really want to dox anybody or as in like their Twitch names, but for the majority of the Twitch accounts that I've like personally like had to manually report over time is a lot. During an occasion when I was streaming with a trans friend of mine, to specify, named Lucas, or well, yeah, Lucas, that's what we call him on stream and whatnot. Uh, that we had a single person who was very weirded out by, obviously me sounding the way that I sound. And I'm like, buddy, I can't do very much about that right now. I mean, I could take vocal lessons and all that other stuff, but that costs a lot of money, and I'm a normal human being that doesn't have a whole lot of money. Does that make sense? Like, and then they were making fun of, like, they were saying shit. Well, not really making, they were antagonizing us, is what was going on. They were saying, like, oh, you're not a woman, you're a man, you're gonna get stoned to death. Like, literally shit like that. In my chat, and in which I just informed them, like, dude, why are you so, what's your fucking deal? Try to play it off as, like, just ignoring it, and then playing it off as a joke, being like, what is it, like, what are you, Catholic? Because the joke is that I'm Catholic. I've been Catholic. I've mentioned that plenty of times before. That I used to be Catholic. I used to be at first I was Baptist, moved to Catholic because of my grandfather and whatnot, and they're pretty strict and very horrible people. At least the churches that I've been to, where this type of stuff is very common, just not the stoning part. And the guy nitpicked specific things to get angry about, and I'm like, you could be angry you want, but you're the one that started this, and I'm letting you know that, if you're gonna make fun of me, I'm gonna do that same thing to you, because all honesty, and then you're gonna get banned. That's just how it works. Because it's quite pathetic. It's pitiful that people like that are just going up to a random streamer who's got like 0 people watching, by the way. It's just, I like streaming because I like having fun. I think that just makes a lot of sense for people that have an average life that's just out there on the streets, doing their job, whatever job it may be, and then coming over to stream when they fucking feel like it. I don't know. And I guess some people come over to insult, belittle, and degrade people of the LGBT community. I know that's a big common thing, but I don't see a lot of people talking about this type of issue. And that guy literally got, before he got banned, he got so upset he started follow botting. To a point I had to turn off my notifications for the entire rest of the stream before we ended the stream, for me to then go and deal with that process, because I was too focused on getting rid of that. Because that's a problem. That's really weird and really annoying and very disrespectful. And all honesty, I don't even know who I could fucking contact about this situation. Twitch has been doing a good job when I report them, each of these accounts. So the best I can do as an individual is to ban them and report them for their hate speech and their degrading commentary about the trans community. But like, they are actively looking for trans people. Why do I say that? Well, I have the trans tags, you know, obviously the trans tag, the LGBTQ plus tag, right, on purpose, so that way people know ahead of time that the notification in my thing before you start chatting indicates that I am trans and that I have this voice, so that if you are disturbed by it, you don't have to comment. And even before you even get to that point, there's enough evidence to prove that you, as an individual, unless you've muted the stream, in which that's where the text comes in, that you shouldn't be surprised. They're not surprised, by the way. I know they're not. They can read. They can, before they even click on the stream, they're going to see that. They have to sit there through a really excruciatingly long ad, too, because fuck Twitch, right, with their ads. So they have to sit there through an excruciatingly long ad. They have to sit there and eventually start chatting to insult me and a bunch of other people because they fucking feel like, I don't know. But it's definitely gotten to a point I've started to notice this is becoming a very big trend. And it's affecting me personally, mentally. I mean, granted, I'm pretty good at dealing with mental stress, so it's not like it's a major concern. I'll keep streaming anyways, because I generally just don't care about what they say or what they do. But, like, it's just kind of sad to watch. And I know that as somebody who is a small streamer, obviously, myself, I barely get, like, 2 views, which one of them is probably my friend or something like that, or occasionally somebody who has followed me before and wants to watch the stream again, which I appreciate. You know, I generally see pretty much nobody showing up, and that's generally fine, you know? And so when I get these horrible, horrible people who pop into the stream to only belittle and insult you, it just gets, it can get under your skin really easily. And I noticed that this is probably not their first rodeo. They've probably been banned multiple times and have been through this several other times. They've probably been ban evading multiple times so they could be on Twitch to insult small streamers. Because I noticed that I'm gonna reiterate, I watch Porcelain Maid, and Porcelain Maid is straight up a guy, right, who uses a female model, and I think that's fucking sick as hell. I think he's super funny, he's super cool, right? But he gets the same commentary about using a female model, right? And they get banned really easily, and even though they try, you know, they'll instantly get deleted. And I think that a lot of them, I don't know if Porcelain Maid has that happen often, as much as it's been happening to me. Like, in the past month, I've probably banned, like, 4 or 5 people who have been doing that. And I don't know if that's as common to them as it is to smaller streamers or to myself. Because with a smaller streamer, they're less likely to be able to be as aggressive and outright, like, more capable in order to ban these types of individuals quicker, even with automod. Because even if you maximize automod isn't exactly the greatest thing in the world. And in fact could ban somebody for saying something that's just in the Twitch's ban list service that you don't really care about. So you either have to pick your poison and maximize your automod to basically accidentally ban or time out people who don't deserve it, who are just saying something silly that's probably commentarying towards, like, you know, the stream, right? Like, there was this time I was playing, like, a Dark Souls with my friend Lucas, who's gay, and, like, he was running around with, like, his sword and stuff and like that. I was, like, calling him, like, he was the gay lord of the sword, or something like that. Basically, just a joke, but the word Gaylord in general is a banned term. So when somebody put that in, they were like, oh my god, I got timed out, what the hell? And then I would have to explain that how the hell they get time out, and then I found out that it was auto mod, and I untimed them out, or at least I, you know, I apologized and had to turn down auto mod settings to prevent that from happening, or, you know, stop that specific word from being a phrase that was a bannable offense, or, excuse me, a timed out offense. Stuff like that, just, there's a lot of difficulty for people to kind of wiggle themselves around to figure out how they can, like, get around a lot of the issues that stem from streaming. And I feel like it's another thing for small streamers to understand that we, especially in the LGBT community, are going to be probably ridiculed a lot just for existing. Hell, I'm on the street sometimes and I get fucking assaulted for no fucking reason. I've had that happen before. I've had people belittle me on out there. I've had people compliment me. I've had all sorts of stuff, you know? Like, and I see it as this is something that we have to deal with, but at the same time, the amount that I'm dealing with on a constant basis on Twitch is absurd. If I can go out on the street and walk normally and have a normal time with my friends and stuff like that, and I barely ever have that happen, it's like once in a blue moon, right? Because it does happen still, because obviously people are going to be that type of jackass. But like on, again, it's because of the internet, it makes it much more easier for them to insult somebody and say something because they know they're not going to have any repercussions, especially because Twitch, all they can do really is ban them. But they'll just make another account. They'll make multiple accounts. Hell, this one guy had like I was at 215 like followers at the time, and it jumped me over to almost 400 for how many bots this dude had. Now imagine having that play and that notification is playing that often, and you have to turn that off, and then you have to go manually into your stream, into your, like, after your stream, and go into the followers list and manually ban every single individual that was there at the time for all those bots to go away. You had to individually do that, and in between there were normal people trying to stop that from happening, so you have to be careful which people were that, and remember which people were the ones that needed to be banned. Because there were so many. It's very much a tedious process that has no real wiggle room to, like, prevent. And I'm noticing this becoming a very common thing for me, and I'm worried that it's not just me. Because, you know, I have a lot of friends that want to stream because they enjoy that process, like I do. But they're also trans, and they're gay, or this, or that, and, like, imagine getting in stream, and then that's the only thing you're bombarded by every single stream. Every single stream, as of at least this month, or at least these past few months, have been these individuals, with occasional people that generally enjoy the content that I make, or enjoy me talking or something, or play the game that I'm playing. And I enjoy that when I can interact with those people, but they're so far and few between that now I'm getting people that are just out there to insult me, to attack me, to say horrible things, and I guarantee you it's happening to other small streamers that are in the same community because they are specifically going to that community. Because a lot of the times, it's most likely that they're looking through the LGBTQ tag or the trans tag to insult them. And that is exactly what I mean by the horrendous act that is going on right now. And I generally don't know if, like, there's anything that could be done. And the one thing I can do myself is to say, hey, this is happening, this is a problem, and this needs to be fucking fixed. That's all I can do. I can ban them on my end. I can report them on my end. At one point, my computer started to slow down really badly for no reason. Like I was being DOSed. And I'm not saying that I was, but I noticed an incredibly slowed down computer over time. It wasn't immediate. It was very barely noticeable. I was just noticing smaller things. Twitch page wasn't loading. I couldn't load specific features. I lost access to my own thing, and I fucking checked all around to figure out what the hell was going on. I did a bunch of workarounds, and eventually everything eased out and disappeared, and I'm still worried about that. because that could just be somebody trying to get into my account to try to do things to like remove my entire Twitch account, which is something people would absolutely do. Imagine your entire fucking time you've been streaming and you've been doing this for years, you know, over time developing and growing as a person, growing your channel as an individual, and some random person goes through and manages to get into your computer to just delete your account or get into your account to deactivate your account. That's a fucking dark situation that could lead somebody to probably, like, be in a very terrible mental state. And no one's talking about it. Like, 0 people are even giving a shit about it. Maybe there are people out there that are talking about the bot problem. I've looked it up, and yeah, there are people talking about, like, the follower bot issue, where there's a ton of follower bots that just randomly subscribe to people for no fucking reason whatsoever. Which is really annoying, because that's hindering your growth. And that's barely also getting talked about. Like, you don't see people out there, like, with who's got, like, tons of, like, you know, or whatever influence, which I generally don't think it really matters, because it probably doesn't affect them at the end of the day, so why the fuck should they care? You know what I mean? So it makes sense why they wouldn't make a video on it or something like that, or talk about it, but, like, it does need to be talked about it. Even if it's smaller creators. If you're a smaller creator, a Twitch streamer, or something, if you're in the LGBTQ, the trans, or just a small streamer in general, and you're having these issues, talk about it. Say something. The more that people talk about it, the more that other bigger creators are going to be like, oh, wait, what the fuck? They're going to look at that. They're going to be like, oh, shit. Why are all these small creators coming out of the brickworks right now saying a bunch of shit about Twitch? Which is, again, day 0 since Twitch has had an issue, right? But if the more people talk about these issues, even if you're a small creator, even if you think it's not going to get you whatever as many views, it's not going to get as big of a reach, right? That's fine. I generally think that's fine. I think that we should just keep going, and it should show up eventually. People will start to see it. It'll start popping up because it'll become a known issue, and that issue will be pushed out. The more that it gets known, the more that it becomes a hot topic, the more that people start searching for it, the more people start going and getting curious about it. It starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until something happens, and maybe somebody with a bigger set of influence will eventually be able to talk about it and really hit them with the, oh shit, now everybody knows, right? I think that that's something that needs to be done. You're probably noticing I'm not listing any specific YouTubers or anything like that, because I generally don't think that that really matters, but I wanted to reiterate that just in case. Like, it's just, the fact is that this just absolutely needs to be talked about. The more that people, like, these, like, I guess you can call them, like, anti-LGBTQ people are attacking, literally, in a more, like, an internet attack way, like, streamers that have no views, no following whatsoever, the harder it is for them to be able to maintain themselves. And, like, I think it just generally sucks, because I don't really collaborate with other, like, VTubers and stuff like that, or other Twitch streamers, because, number one, I have a lot of problems that I'm very much afraid of, like, what that problem could lead to them. That's my biggest issue, is that what if they collaborate with me, and then those same jackasses that keep fucking attacking me multiple times come back and they do that to them, and then the next person, and the person over there, and then over there, and then they start doing the same thing a bunch of times, and then it gets really bad and starts spreading. I don't want that to happen, and I feel like that may be a bigger contributing factor to why there's, like, issues with that type of thing, like collaborating with smaller streamers. It's like something that I feel like is very hard for each streamer to do in general, but makes it even harder for them to want to reach out, knowing the dangers and implications that could happen if that even gets to the point. What that means is that if one person tries to reach out to somebody, that they could potentially be in danger, or vice versa, the person, you know, that isn't in danger could become in danger due to that collaboration situation with those individuals that are bad, you know, bad eggs. And you can't stop them all. Like, that's just a big thing. You can't stop them all. There's no way you're going to stop them all. And I know that it's fucked in some retrospect, or just feels wrong, and it feels like we should be able to do something about it, but like in the end of the day, there's not much we can do. All we can do is talk about it. If you're a small streamer and you notice that this is a problem for you too, speak out, make a YouTube video, maybe, I don't know, talk about it on a stream and indicate why you're talking about this. Do something, communicate with somebody about it. I don't know. I don't like doing stuff like going and contacting a bigger YouTube creator and, you know, saying that there's this weird stuff that's been going on, because again, here's the thing about trying to contact big creators about this. You're a small creator, you don't matter. I know that's really dark and really fucked up, but like, they probably get 1,001 different messages from a ton of people. So in the end of the day, why I say you don't matter is because we kind of don't, right? We're not like massively influenced. It's like, it's not, if it's not bothering them or it's not a major concern, then why do they need to talk about it? They don't need to care. It'd be nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it would be absolutely nice if they would be like, you know what? Yeah, we'll talk about it. But in the end of the day, that's not going to happen. We have to be the ones to do it. We have to be the ones to stand up to that issue. We have to be the ones to make those videos, to make it known as a physical problem on these platforms, and to prevent them. And all honesty, I really do want to know if there are other smaller Twitch streamers out there that are in the LGBT community, that are not in the LGBT community, and stuff like that, that are having these issues. Because I honestly want to know from you what your experience is and why it's happening to you as well. Because I feel like I'm not alone on this situation, but it definitely feels like you're alone on this situation. You know what I mean? It always feels like you're going to be alone in that type of situation, that you're dealing with the world and the world is against you. And I feel like maybe just having some small amount of validation on that I'm not alone on this would just at least make it feel a little bit more easier to tackle these situations every single day or every single month. Because there are times where I don't have this problem for a very long time. And other times, I have this happen almost every month. So, I just want to reiterate one last time. There is a bot problem. There is an anti-LGBTQ problem that is stemming, and specifically small creators are most likely being the ones that are being antagonized the most, because they're the ones that have the least amount of tools and abilities to stop them in their entirety. Most likely they don't have any moderators. Most likely they are their own moderator. Most likely they're going through the ringer already and barely being able to do a goddamn thing. So they're the easiest target. You are the easiest target if you're a small streamer. And you need to be able to be proactive about your situation. Ban those people. Don't be afraid to just instantly ban them. Please. I know how it feels. I absolutely do not want to do that either. I know, I'm a person that's just like, when I look at them, I just feel sad, like how somebody could fall so low to like look at a situation that they don't understand, which is something I get, because it's something that most likely isn't in their realm of understanding. Like, either they're really old or they lived in a household that just had specific values that you can't really just change overnight. Like, nothing is won over a night. You can't change somebody's mind in a day. That's just not how it works. So I generally feel bad for them that they live their life that way, that that's their decision, that's their choice, that's their life, that they'll die by the grave without ever like looking at another person as another individual, and instead look at every other person as an imperfect being and be alone for the rest of their life in that situation. But we have to do those things. We have to be proactive at getting rid of these issues, and until that is something that we can get rid of, or at least be able to moderate easier, we're gonna have to know that we have to push through that slogfest and just do it. And I want to let you guys know you're not alone. You guys aren't alone in that situation. There are other people out there, at least I hope. Because you can guarantee that I'm one of those people. So at least you know that you have validation that there is someone out there right now that is dealing with that same exact situation that you're dealing with, okay? So you're not alone. But in the end of the day, we absolutely need to fix this issue. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end things now. Just, I hope that maybe something comes out of this. I know it's just a bunch of fucking rambling. I know that it's just a bunch of words, but it's just me speaking my mind to get it all out, to say it all there. It may not be coherent. It may not be anywhere near what people are gonna understand, because I'm not good at expressing myself in a more serious tone, because I'm not used to doing something like that. But in all honesty, I just feel like it has to be done. Because if it doesn't get done, then nothing will ever change. Okay.